President Biden has formally announced Justice Stephen Breyer's retirement at the White House this afternoon.
The moment was full circle for President Biden, who was chair of the Judiciary Committee when Justice Breyer was confirmed in 1994. With Breyer stepping down, Democrats now have their best chance since 2010 to see one of their picks sit on the nation's highest court. CBS News' Natalie Brand has more from the White House.
Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer plans to step down while Democrats control Congress, giving President Biden his first opportunity to fill a vacant seat.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
President Clinton nominated the longtime liberal justice back in 1994. His retirement will not change the ideological makeup of the court, now split with 6 Republican-appointed justices and 3 selected by Democratic presidents. The retirement comes just ahead of midterm elections that could change the balance in the Senate. And President Biden is expected to fulfill a campaign promise to make an historic choice.
I'm looking forward to making sure there's a black woman on the Supreme Court.
The front runner on the list of potential candidates is 51-year-old federal appeals court judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, who clerked for Justice Breyer.
Without a doubt, being a law clerk for Justice Breyer was one of the most rewarding professional experiences of my life.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he wants to move quickly on confirming a nominee. He's expected to follow a similar timeline that Republicans used to confirm Justice Amy Coney Barrett in just over a month. It now takes just a simple majority to confirm a Supreme Court nominee after Republican lawmakers changed the Senate rules in 2017. With a 50-50 split in the Senate, if Democrats stick together, Vice President Kamala Harris would be able to break the tie. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Joining us now with more from the White House is CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe. Hi, Ed. So we did hear the president say he plans to announce a Supreme Court nominee by the end of February. We knew it was going to be a tight timeline. What can you tell us about that process and what the president will be considering with his nomination?
Well, we know it's already underway. There were allies and key lawmakers calling into the West Wing just hours after the news leaked yesterday. And now the president is essentially saying, if you've got an opinion on this, I'm all ears, especially if you're in the U.S. Senate. Remember, this is somebody who used to serve in the U.S. Senate from the early 1970s up until 2009, would have seen all federal judicial nominees cross his desk as he was a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee and chaired confirmation hearings. So this is somebody who knows what he's looking for. And as he said, a highly qualified person who happens to be a woman and happens to be African American. So who could that possibly be? The list includes judges that currently serve on appeals courts across the country, a California Supreme Court judge, a federal district judge from South Carolina. All of them, plus many others likely to get mentioned and reviewed by this White House. Perhaps the advantage goes to judges Ketanji Brown Jackson and Candace Jackson Akawumi, who were confirmed by the Senate just last year, were vetted by the Biden administration, and were also confirmed with 3 Republican votes. So they have a bipartisan voting record. But keep an eye on J. Michelle Childs, who's listed there, district court judge in South Carolina, who's being elevated to the federal appeals court here in Washington, and just so happens, coincidentally, to have a hearing for that elevation next week before the Senate Judiciary Committee. You better believe there'll be a few more people watching that just in case.
Oh, yeah.
Ed, I'm really curious who your money's on, but we won't put you on the spot. You can tell me off camera. Senator Chuck Schumer wants to get a nominee confirmed quickly, as we know. What roadblocks do Democrats face in the confirmation process, and why is it so crucial this happens before midterm elections?
Well, Democrats want it to happen as soon as possible because, A, they want to ensure that there are 9 justices, B, that it happens while there are 50 members of the Democratic caucus plus the vice president in place to make it happen, and C, because they'd like to go home and be able to run on this accomplishment. The idea that history's been made, the ideological balance of the court perhaps has been maintained, but now with an incredibly different and historic face on the bench alongside them. Black women make up the backbone of the Democratic Party. They've been the most reliable demographic for the party really since the 1970s, voting 75-80% plus in presidential elections especially. So the president understands by fulfilling this campaign pledge, he's not only making good on that, but he's in essence saying thank you to the most loyal part of the party and making good on what many in the legal world see as a big wrong, and that is the fact that there aren't enough women, aren't enough minorities, and aren't enough people with different relevant professional and personal experiences serving in federal courts. This president says he's going to try to fix that with this pick. As for the Senate, they can do it. Recent history suggests it's possible. Amy Coney Barrett, remember, got on the court in 2020 just before Election Day after Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. Took about 27 to 35 days, depending on how you count it. Democrats say if Republicans can do it, so can we. We'll see.
All eyes certainly will be watching. History on the horizon. Ed O'Keefe, thank you.